Well, that's it for PlayStation. Pack it up. It's been an amazing ride, but it's over. If you love PlayStation exclusive and you love PlayStation games, you don't get to enjoy them anymore because PlayStation is done. According to some rando on Twitter, I have no idea how this became a topic of discussion, right? But according to someone who's apparently reputable in Japan, Sony is apparently going out of business, which means PlayStation is going out of business. They can't keep up anymore. And this has been something that's being talked about on the regular as it seems, right? So I'm going to bring this up for you. And the original tweet that I actually bookmarked here is from Jay Crispy, but it's coming from this account here, right? And it was translated. You guys can see this is a Securties Reseller, an old man investor who researches past data and makes event investments in material stock speculation. And he has been back to 2006, right? From what I can see, and from what I've been reading, apparently this person is someone in Japan that is been spot on with a lot of things he said that will happen, is going to happen. That's why people are starting to get some validity, or trying to say it's validity to what he's saying. And again, these things are translated from Google, so it might not be one-to-one, but this is where it all starts from this person here. So what he's saying is there's been talk that Sony's game business is about to go bankrupt. As we know, Sony does make big movie production style games. They spend a lot of money on their games, and they make a lot of money on their games. They sell a lot of consoles. They sell a lot of copies of their games. We going from Spider-Man to God of War. They make big movie production style games, right? But as we know, they do have some games as a service that are coming, about 12 or so that are supposed to be coming, and supposed to be games that they can continuously make revenue on, okay? But he's saying that the game business is about to go bankrupt. The president of the game business has been replaced, which we know Jim Ryan is being replaced. And since there is no successor, the president of the head office has taken on the concurrent position. Sony's overall inventory, and we talked about Sony's overall inventory is 2 trillion yen, but the game business alone counts for 960 billion yen, which, as we know, let's keep it a buck. I'm using a Sony camera now. This is a Sony A6000. Sony does camera stuff. They do movies. Sony is into a lot of things, but we know their bread and butter, at least right now, where they're making the most money, the most revenue, is PlayStation. It is what it is. Not necessarily a bad thing. PlayStation is a behemoth in what it is, right? So if you simply divide the unit price of the PS5, you have about 13 million units in stock. Again, might not be a complete translation, but this is the translation from Google. Is this bad stock? Question. However, it seems that PS5 is already being sold at a significantly reduced price in the U.S., so the market value will decrease further, which could be a factor in the downside of the company's results. If this year-end sales season doesn't work out, they will finally shut down the game business. There's also talk of this. The change of SIE's president is an expression of the company's sense of crisis. They're saying, hey, this Jim Ryan thing isn't just about him retiring. Like, they are in crisis mode. The PS5 is being sold way cheaper than what it probably should be, right? If it's true, does this mean when the PS6 finally releases, or the PS5 Pro, we're looking at a $600 to $700 console? This is, according to this analysis person, throw caution to the wind, but we will continue. According to the story on the game Taku board, there seems to be a strong possibility that there's a lack of communication between SIE and Sony headquarters. The head office approved SIE's baseless bullet strategy, but in reality, the company ended up with a mountain of inventory, and the company hurriedly replaced the president and placed the company under the direct control of the head office. It is okay to take the information at face value since it is from a Otaku board, but the stories are all connected, okay? Basically, they're saying hey, PlayStation was messing up, so Sony is jumping in and say, hey, we're going to take over PlayStation as of right now, right? I believe this is the thread where there was a lot of different conversation from people who were in the industry. Maybe this wasn't the one. But let's just keep it $150. Sony, I don't believe Sony's going anywhere. I'm not saying this person is full of crap. I don't know who this person is. Like I said, from the research that I've seen, this person does have some credibility. They don't have the biggest following on Twitter, even though a big following on Twitter doesn't necessarily mean that you are credible. A lot of people will fake it till they make it. However, I don't think Sony is in trouble right now. I think Sony is doing fantastic stuff with their movies. They just had the Spider-Man Miles Morales animated film, which did great. Supposed to be a live action one coming. They got a couple of movies in the Spider-Verse coming out. Madam Web is coming out. That may do awesome. Of course, again, the PS5 is doing great. At bare minimum, at the absolute bare minimum, if Sony does go under, which again, I don't believe that's the case. I think this is a bunch of hogwash, right? You could bet your bottom dollar someone like Apple, someone like Amazon is going to step up and make sure you continue to have your PlayStation experience. Because listen to me, people. For the person who was in the back screaming, yeah, down with PlayStation, down with Sony, let them crumble, we need PlayStation in this industry. I'm sorry. We do not want an industry where it's just Microsoft and Nintendo. We need a third party. And I would say the same thing about Microsoft. You guys do not want a world where Xbox doesn't exist. You guys do not want a world where Nintendo doesn't exist. We need the competition amongst the console makers. We need to have a big three. If either one of these go under, the only people that it hurts are us, the consumers, because the other two could pretty much have a duopoly on the industry. Charge what they want, do what they want, less innovation. Think about what we're getting with Xbox Game Pass. Why did that happen? Because Xbox was failing in a lot of areas. Maybe it was on the brink of death, and then Phil Spencer came up like the dang Undertaker, brought Xbox back from the dead with Xbox Game Pass, and are doing some amazing things. I think this is hogwash, but again, you guys let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys think Sony is in trouble? Are we seeing the end of PlayStation? I doubt it, but y'all be the judge. It's Famous Heyman from LV1Gaming.com. You guys have a great one, and I'm out.